President Biden sanctioning Russia for its hacking operations and now infamous interference in 2 elections. And late today, the president warned he'll go further if needed.
Earlier this week, I spoke with President Putin of Russia. I told him that we would shortly be responding in a measured and a proportionate way because we had concluded that they had interfered in the election. If Russia continues to interfere with our democracy, I'm prepared to take further actions to respond.
These new sanctions hit 32 entities and people, and this would be big news as is. But one of the targets is especially key, a name you may recall from the days of the Mueller probe. Paul Manafort's close ally, Konstantin Kilimnik, seen here in the room with Manafort, who, of course, was Trump's 2016 chair. Both were indicted on charges stemming from the Mueller probe. Manafort fought his charges, claimed to cooperate. Then Mueller found he was still lying. He went to prison. Kilimnik is still wanted by the FBI. Now, what's new tonight goes to the heart of the conspiracy and collusion questions in the entire Trump, Russia, and Mueller probes. Were these 2 indicted men the link to actually get material back to the Kremlin itself? Well, tonight, for the first time, the U.S. government revealing evidence that says, yes, that Kilimnik took internal Trump polling from Manafort and gave it to the Kremlin, to the Russian intelligence services. Now, this is significant. We went through all that time covering the probes, but this is the first time the U.S. government itself has connected the dots from the Trump campaign back to the highest levels of the Russian government. It's the missing link which speaks directly to the key question at the heart of those probes, a mystery that at the time was never publicly, fully answered.
Konstantin Kilimnik. Manafort may have sent Kilimnik internal proprietary polling data from the Trump campaign.
But we don't know exactly what the polling data was.
This is believed to be something valuable.
It's impossible to tell.
What he was doing with Kilimnik during the campaign speaks much more to the question of whether or not there's a chance that, in fact, he did help the Russians in their effort or not.
Did he help the Russians in their effort? Now we know the answer. Yes. A chain of evidence going from literally the chair of the Trump campaign, numero uno, with the secret sauce, the private polling, the intelligence that tells you how to win a race, all the way to the Kremlin. And tonight, many are reacting. Senior officials in Congress, people with FBI experience, and some former Republican lawmakers say it all adds up to one final word you may remember: collusion. We are joined now by a special guest who is here through all of the Mueller coverage, former federal prosecutor Nick Ackerman, with experience as an assistant special Watergate prosecutor. Thanks for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
If this internal polling, which could be a blueprint for what the Trump campaign needed most in those tough days of 2016, went all the way to the Kremlin, is that significant?
I think it is. I mean, but keep in mind, we don't really know what the evidence is that the administration based these sanctions on. I mean, it could very well be that Mueller really had this information way back when, because if it was based on informant information, if it was intelligence information that was gathered by the CIA or one of the federal agencies, it still wouldn't have been admissible evidence. I mean, even if it was on a wiretap that the government didn't want to disclose, because they were concerned about compromising intelligence sources. So
you're talking.
Way,
let me jump in. You're sure. Nick. You're talking about admissible in court or a legal proceeding. What
right,
about the larger question of what? But here's the thing. Now here we are. It's a new day, 2021. The larger question of what the heck happened. Was Donald Trump, who was narrowly elected while getting fewer votes than Hillary Clinton, was he materially assisted by the Kremlin because they got a blueprint from his campaign chair? Does that look more likely now than not?
Oh, I think it looked very likely even a couple of years ago. I mean, this was something, first of all, the people in the Kremlin, the ones that were probably using this information, which was very granular polling data about individual voters. And as Rick Gates testified, this had to do with the battleground states of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, which was a battleground state back in 2016. I mean, they took this information. Rick Gates testified that over the course of the campaign, he was providing this information to Kilimnik. I mean, what else would Kilimnik be doing with it?
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.